chat are liking to have the first pick, and that's the case. So indeed, Superstars have picked Brax's Holdout.
Indeed. Yeah, no, they have managed to pick it up. Brax's Holdout, interesting map. Couple other heroes become more viable on the map. Misha's one. Medic's going to be another. Leoric is one, but I can't say that because it's North America, so he doesn't exist.
Saw him played. Leoric
he's had his moments here and there, but overall, I don't expect anything insane from these teams. Even when down, Superstars kept things very traditional. They weren't too creative. So for now, you know, both teams going to play their game. The question is just really who's better.
They did, but it was also Sky Temple. And we talked about there are limited things that you could do to cheese it up.
Yeah, whereas
Braxis
is very much different.
Yeah, like there are a lot of things. Medivh, one of
portal.
The first times that you might see the increased portal range instead of having portal up more often because you can portal in between the beacons. That's not annoying.
It's pretty hard to deal with, but it just takes entering one wrong portal because there's only one small area on the map where you can actually do it side to side, and because it's that tiny, it's enough to really make it to where you know, you can just walk right into a mosh pit pretty much if you click the wrong point.
Well, here we go on to the draft of Brax's Holdout. First ban from No Tomorrow. What?
That's the Cho ban. And all right, here we go. Something we didn't expect. So then No Tomorrow. Is it going to be the Tychus? Or is it the Artanis?
Yeah. That was not like, is there a possibility that they could do this Cho thing? No, it was instantly, you will not Cho'Gall here.
Yeah, no, none of that. Possibly just in the top lane, you know. It's really hard to be able to deal with the resources. You commit enough to the bottom lane. I don't know the full approach. I haven't seen Cho'Gall in a long while, and I'm totally comfortable with that. So we'll just leave that ban there, and we'll move on.
Walk away.
All right.
Smile and walk away, boys.
Ban the Cho, walk away. Ban the Cho, walk away.
Superstars now. Tasvala is available if they want something like that. Tas Gul'dan, Ariel, Tasvala.
Keeping it old school. A little simple here. Tasvala rotation, high prioritization a lot of the time there for Superstars. No Tomorrow's managed to pick up their Artanis. So where do they want to move next? Malfurion has been pick up here for them. No surprise considering it's in the first pick rotation, being able to get that. So where else? Gul'dan is their option. Interesting.
I love Gul'dan and Malfurion together.
I love Gul'dan and Abraxas. He legitimately is, every time I get my hands on him, I'm just like, I don't know how I can lose this video game unless my support's not backing me up. And it turns out in competitive, supports are really good at doing that. So I expect No Tomorrow to be rather successful, at least when it comes to their 4-man. Their top lane is doing rather well. My heavy focus would be removing wave clear-centric top laners, which is harder to do on this map than others. So I don't think, like, normally I think of Dahaka ban on the side of No Tomorrow, but now it's not as appealing as maybe I had once thought. Maybe put more focus towards the Warriors instead. Like, are they concerned about an ETC? Are they concerned about something else? Or the Ariel trio? Didn't even think about that one, so.
No, insta-lock in. Once again, it's like we're going to start with our Cho ban very quickly. We're going to follow up with Ariel. Everything is working out as intended. Our casters might not know anything about the Cho, but that's fine.
He's a sneaky one, you know? Superstars of the team, they are going to be the one. I'm calling it now. I think if we see a Cho'Gall in all of HGC and A, they're the team where I'd say they're the ones busting it out.
Absolutely.
They will just, you know, Cho'Gall it up real quick.
I don't know. Tippo Storm did used to play him. Remember, they busted him out once at PAX West.
Yeah.
One time. Very first match. It was just like, hey, Cho'Gall, Ariel, what's up? Superstars, I'm thinking they're probably going to pick up Rhaegar here. Speaking of Superstars, did you see the stat that was tweeted out by Heroes Esports? Iacona is the only player across both North America and Europe who had 100% kill participation.
No, I didn't know that. That's insane.
And he played a ton of Rhaegar last week, so that's a lot of butt bites.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, really value shields overall. That's impressive. ETC and Rexxar were the choices here. I don't think that Artanis does too well into the Rexxar matchup. which means now No Tomorrow should put even more emphasis into their 4-man, you know?
Absolutely.
If you lose the 1, just win the 4 as hard as you can. You've got Malf, you've got Gul'dan, things are looking pretty. How can you make it better? Johanna is something they might be looking at. Again, I always say, when you have Artanis, you don't want the double warrior, so then if you're going to pull away from the Johanna, you could go for more. They're going to go with the Diablo. They don't even care. They're not going to worry about wave clear. They're going to leave that all up to Gul'dan.
Gul'dan Malf.
I think they
Malf
may
would get
regret that,
Moonburn.
to be honest.
But I think Malf will want Shando's clarity for Gul'dan. I'm not sure what he'll want there.
I would go... Ooh, I would probably, depending on this last pick, I would go Moonburn. I don't know how to emphasize this more. Then if you lose the 1 and you lose the 4, you lose the game. So don't lose one of those 2. You know you're 1 versus 1, so make sure you win your 4-man. So much so that this is one of the few scenarios I would have liked Johanna, even in the double warrior, even with not being able to do enough damage, purely on the fact that I care this much about my 4-man.
Yeah, Rexar forces that.
Yes.
On No Tomorrow.
It does, or having a very confident matchup into him, which there are few that do exist. But overall, you know, he's a space bear, and she just doesn't care up there. And it's going to be the Morales making this bottom lane
so strong.
So strong. It has kill potential. It's got raw survivability. It's got wave clear. And it's got very few fears on the side of what they've been able to pull out in the draft versus No Tomorrow here. Little riskier.
Beautiful drafting from Superstars.
Yes.
We talked about Morales. There are a few battlegrounds where she seems more viable, but Braxis is one of them, if not the best.
It is,
because
yeah,
she can just
sure.
sit there with her beam on whoever is trying to tank and hold on to the beacon for as long as possible, and it's hard to ever move on to her. Maybe if Artanis rotates down, Diablo, they can look to pull her out of position, and especially once they get Graviton Vortex at 13, but that's a long way off.
Yeah, but there is one thing where even in the interview I asked Cattle a little bit, and he didn't give too much insight. The Tychus over the Vala. Vala has been picked up. Tychus was picked up here too. Granted, this follows the trend that No Tomorrow's had in their drafting, but I like it here largely because Morales is very good at healing up onto the front line and everything happening, but if you just put too much damage in the front line, she really can't keep up with what output Tychus has.
She doesn't. We'll see if they are able to burst through that Morales healing. Here we go into game number 3. We'll see you there.
Yeah, but no, again, it's just that Tychus, what he's able to bring to this map, because it all comes down to major warriors having, Misha or Rexar or having ETC, that you're going to stand on the point and look for that threat, but typically the warrior can get away with that, and Medic is not going to be under that much pressure, but suddenly if the front line needs all the healing in the world, one mistake on the side of Vala or something like Gul'dan can really make a mess of Superstars' health bars.
When you start to look at full 5-on-5 team fighting, which you get as the game progresses, then things look a lot better for No Tomorrow. A lot of swap potential. Gul'dan will have a lot of damage output once he finishes Echoed Corruption, and then they do have Tychus. So maybe that's the plan, is just weather the storm a little bit and then try to get into these big 5-on-5 fights.
That might be the plan, but a 2-man power slide coming out for Sray. The wave clear advantage has gone over to No Tomorrow. Maybe that Tychus grenade being able to make up for more than I gave credit for, or the zoning over the cap point here too. The aggression coming out from Urho on that Diablo, but again, maybe the wave clear is better than I gave it credit for on the side of No Tomorrow with that Tychus. His Q is reasonable, but I didn't think it'd be enough. I figured Faye and Hosi would be far more into the front line with Sray there, and they'd be better off, but it turns out that is not the case, so very well done for No Tomorrow.
There's also Fell Flames from Talking Trees, and if he sees heroes within the minion waves, then he can throw out Corruption and get stacks and try to put damage on minions at the same time. Enough so that Malfurion did feel like Tiger JK didn't need to get Moonburn and picked up Shando's Clarity so that he could give more mana to Talking Trees.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Trees is very, very good at his wave clear. It just comes down to, is he committing too many resources, or is the team have enough to be able to ensure that the minion wave dies and ends up going down there? But the top lane skirmish we saw seems to be a little bit of that noodle fight that we typically see in those 1v1s. High health bars, good survivability. And Shrine's now up in 5 seconds.
Power slide hits Airho. Hasn't had time to build up that many of his soul stones just yet. And a lot of damage went down right away. Tiger JK still has quite a bit of mana, so they may be able to hold out on this beacon for a little while, especially if they could get takedown on Srey, but he still has power slide up. But damage is still being done to No Tomorrow, and look how healthy all of the members of Superstars are.
Yep, it's a tough spot to be in. Casanova has been able to secure this. Misha's going to come right on back and say, I'll take this over time. Srey with a good power slide. Jason in a tough spot ends up using his dash out. Hungering Arrow is going to not confirm these kills, but No Tomorrow's going to have to back out, which means I think this is going to be a Zerg Rush 100-0 here in favor of Superstars.
Yeah, that's the beauty of having Lieutenant Morales here, and the wave clear has started to work out a lot more for Superstars too, even if initially it was good for No Tomorrow. Now just being able to hold on to the beacon and wither down the health bars of No Tomorrow. Srey, why are you here?
In the overpower. He got overpowered over him. I was like, oh, what are you doing here, you know? A little silly. That's not your side of the fence. Srey's going to be in a bad spot. He's going down. Combo coming out. Urho eating a lot of damage, and the Zerg Rush coming into play. And this is why, for those who don't know why Gul'dan is so good on this map, watch that health bar. He just rips through this thing, and this is not even late game. When it gets to the back half of this, man, he just single-handedly can shred through all the minions here in the Zerg Rush.
And self-sustain himself through that, because he just heals up, live taps, heals up again with drained life. It's very impressive showing the way that Gul'dan can take down Zerg so quickly. And normally when you're up against a 100-0 Zerg push like this, you're looking at losing a fort, but in this case, No Tomorrow are able to stop it, only giving away a couple of towers to Superstars.
Yeah, one thing I am looking at though is trees on that Gul'dan. His Echo Corruption at level 1 is already sitting at a little bit over 50%. I'm going to say around the 66% range there. So honing in pretty close. Maybe not world record time, but above average for sure. Being able to introduce that, and this map is that talent is scary on Gul'dan when it's completed. On this map specifically, it's insane. Any of these Zerg Rush, not only does it clear faster, but more than anything, it makes it almost indefensible. He will rip through the health bars of Superstars if he manages to confirm that and they have a big Zerg Rush.
And Morales isn't the one who can effectively deal with trying to heal up many members of the team at once. You can hold to drop a safeguard on one person and then heal another person, but if Talking Trees gets a gigantic corruption that can hit several people, that would be a hard thing. But at least with Hosty having Tassadar for Superstars, they can mitigate a little bit of that damage.
Yeah, it's got to be a difficult situation to be in here. The Gul'dan and 7 here for No Tomorrow is going to be picked up. See what he goes. Ends up going with the Q reset. Or excuse me, E reset through his Felflame, managing to hit more targets. Other than that, everything's pretty normal there. A little bit of an adjustment from Faye on her Vala build, but it's not a rare build pick at 7.
This is just a reminder, the previous patch, so not Valera patch, and that means that Rexstar is not in his new reworked form. He picked up Hungry Bear so that Misha's basic attacks can give her a little bit of self-sustain, but then getting Bird of Prey. Bird of Prey comes in a lot too when you want to use Rexstar as murking, as well as being able to clear out waves even faster.
Casanova is going to be just fine. Maybe you can throw out a swap on top of it. Shrine spawn here in 5 seconds. Both teams are going to have to try and figure out what they're going to be able to do here. But for now, Superstars has seemed to have a bit of control in this game.
Superstars made the swap, so their 4-man's up and top. Realizing this, No Tomorrow do what they can, take down towers in the bottom lane and grab the bottom beacon, but Superstars can continue the siege, so a lot of people are going to have to start to come up. Casanova's in trouble. Beautiful grenade, pulls him back, uses Blade Dash to stall for time, but Artanis gets taken out just as the rest of No Tomorrow shows up.
Shout out to Iacona, dude. He just made insane huge plays after Srey. Great follow-up there, the nade, and then the positioning into the wall. Everything that he did there was very, very well done. To be able to keep himself alive, and really he was the sole reason to confirm the kill after Srey ended up hitting the power slide. So now we do see Superstars has picked up the 9. 10 is going to be closing in a little bit quicker than their opponents, but top Zerg Rush, or excuse me, bottom Shrine and Zerg Rush has been achieved. Top is going to be picked up now. A camp on top of it, you know, Rexstar. He just pretty much doesn't care. Misha goes around, slaps everything, and one of the best markers in the game. So just a lot of raw pressure on the map here for Superstars.
Yeah, that's that Bird of Prey coming into play. I made that so difficult on myself.
I don't know if I could hit that one, to be honest. That
3
was
times
impressive.
fast. Go.
Wait. It's a bird of prey and play?
Yeah, it comes into
Bird
play.
of prey and play? I feel like I'm going to say a bad word. And if I
Maybe
say
we
this
move
too
away
fast.
from this topic.
It's a trap. Run. You know what I mean? You don't even mean to. You're just trying to like pray and play. I don't know. I'm out. I'm out. Either way, Zerg Rush in Superstar's hands. Going to be ticking up quickly. No tomorrow. Still yet to be able to really make anything happen as they're looking for their 10. Going to be picked up in a matter of seconds. They're doing a good job of buying time, though. They are responding appropriate to Superstar's pressure they've managed to put on so far, at least when it comes to this Shrine phase.
It's nice choices by Superstars, though, because they picked up mercenary camps, giving a little bit of a reprieve for No Tomorrow, but now No Tomorrow are in the situation where they want to deal with those mercenary camps and not let any further damage come to their structures. And at least up in the top lane, they dealt with them rather quickly, so they can continue to keep a stronghold over the top beacon because Artanis, again, not having the best of time versus Misha and Rexar.
Poke overtime here, adding up slowly but surely. Trees is trying to secure his level 1, and as a matter of fact, I believe it just completed. We'll see in a matter of moments here, but either way, that means he has a lot of damage output here. Trees is one to be feared as he goes in. There's going to be the first dish out there. Okay, well, it's got to be finished now.
Not quite. Yeah, it looks like it's done on my screen.
It had to be one off. I saw it before. It had to be one off. So either way, they've got a huge spike here. Urho getting caught out, getting kind of thrown around there by the force wall. 66% onto the Zerg Rush. Swap attempt is going to be not on point.
That rotated Casanova up from trying to deal with Rexar and Misha too in the top, or in the bottom. So the fact that No Tomorrow weren't able to get a kill off of that sneaky rotation is even better for Superstars because they can just move on back. They still have Rexar in the bottom. He's keeping the lane push. That fourth almost down, but Casanova this time gets a swap. Unfortunately for him, it's on somebody who can power slide right away. And Srey holding on to his heroic ability makes me think we're going to see a mosh there. That's generally what happens when they're holding it, but I guess he could grab it and immediately stage dive down to help if he needs.
It was going to be the mosh pit selection there for Srey. That's going to be a huge isolation there when it comes to the Horrified. Jason is in a tough spot. Twilight Dream already going to be used. Blind is thrown down well. Jason stuck in the corner, but nobody puts Jason in the corner. Urho gets a flip. The Apox put out. He goes down, and that is going to be a stun, hitting a lot of members here of Superstars.
Man, No Tomorrow tried everything to rescue Jason. It just was not in the cards, and Urho will follow suit. He does have enough souls to respawn rather quickly, but this is a big power play for Superstars to have Jason down for a few more seconds, and they immediately move to pick up more of the beacon progress.
Casanova is going to do well in the skirmish into Srey. He can hold his own against a cow. He just doesn't do too well into bears. You know, bears are a lot more scary there, so that will be a winning trade. Well, duh, you know. Overall, though, it's just a tough spot to be in for No Tomorrow here. They're talent down. They're looking for something. They've been struggling on the Zerg Rush. And the last team fight really didn't go their way, and it doesn't look like this scenario is going to be either, as Urho is just flat killed by that force wall.
And No Tomorrow trying to burn down Medevac, but can't do it. And now Iacona can walk right back in. A big mosh pit takes out Malfurion. Gul'dan follows suit. Casanova's in trouble, not running away from this one. Another 3 kills off the Diablo. Diablo picked from the shadows at level 4, and I wanted to call out that when you get that talent, it can be very good or it can be very bad. Having that increased range on your shadow charge can put you into that situation. Superstars had all the time in the world to throw damage down onto Airhill before the rest of No Tomorrow could even attempt to rotate in to help. Okay. And now Superstars have a massive advantage.
Well, yeah, all right, so the scout out there, I thought for a second Urho might have you know, the questionable choice of moving in there to try and block that. Even getting scouted out there, Misha almost got MVP for the setup to that kill. Barely going to be dodged. Boss pressuring on the bottom. Zerg Rush is threatening as well in the top lane. Everything has fallen apart here for No Tomorrow, and we'll see if they manage to figure it out. Trees will be a great accent to kind of minimize losses, but that's a minimum of a keep wall. Probably half the keep as well.
I always wanted to know what happened when Zerg League surrounded a landed Viking. And now I finally know. The Zerg push in the top, taking down towers. Again, it's Gul'dan up against all of the Zergs, so that does help. Srey almost got caught out, and so did Casanova. Both teams trying to catch somebody out of position in the defense. But Gul'dan has just about cleared out the Guardians, and with Medevac.
Come with me, my friends. We must go. My people need me.
Oh, okay. Frexer gets in. Apparently, the bear does too.
Yeah, that actually is a really amazing interaction. I don't know the specifics anymore, but at least on original Medevac, so like each Viking is representative of its own hero.
Yeah.
So like you can only put 5 heroes in every Medevac, so you can only take 1 Viking, or you sacrifice members of your team. Urho is going to get force walled right on out there. Twilight Dream used in hit only Sray. Urho manages to survive. But either way, yeah, I didn't know that worked that way because Misha technically works as a hero for talents, quest talents, but apparently he doesn't take it, you know, like they're close enough that he can hold the bear while they're, you know, soaring to bot lane with that boss there. But
I just imagine Rexar in the Medevac with Misha sitting on his lap, just like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, he's just like that annoying, Misha, stay. Like, just Misha here. Over and over again.
Everyone was like, why is there a bear on this plane?
I think I just triggered people who like who played Rexar recently. My goodness, dude. Oh, man. For those who are annoyed at that, you can just turn off his voice. It makes it a lot easier. Superstars is about to lock in the 16 talents here, and we have seen no signs of life in this game from No Tomorrow, really. I mean, it tells a tale of what we've seen from them before. Both these teams do well when they get ahead, don't really know what to do so much when they fall behind. And it's just whoever gets that early lead seems to have full control.
Well, No Tomorrow do have both their keeps still. They are down 13 to 16. So what's the plan? They get some mercenary camps, they keep clearing out. Do they just hold on until 16?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so ideally you go for a big play. You like feign 2 in a rotation, send 3 in a fog of war your opponents would never expect, come back, just huge flank on it too. Like the dream scenario here always is a pick, because a man down, that's 20% of your team. That is never going to be able to work out without the individual scaling, so it's just, that is in your best interest. It's just unreasonable to bank on these things. So what is the next one? What is the thing you can rely on? Going 1-for-1 in a trade is the most realistic. Trying to catch off the medic, and that swap might be enough. That's going to be a big fear bomb as well.
Horrifying APOC. Goku's in a probably the worst situation of all the members, but on the backside, Stray hits a 3-man mosh pit. Arrow's almost dead.
They're going to win
Vala
this.
does go down. Jason doing work with his Odin. Casanova just barely staying alive, has a little bit of shielding left. What can he do? I guess go down. Now Jason is out of his Odin. He's just run and gun.
All right, now Misha is in hot pursuit here. Pretty good at chasing overall. Stray is trying to retreat, or excuse me, aggress as well. Medevac's going to be dropped, going to the top turn-in. See who comes with him. It's going to be Goku. Stray is there to be able to get the peel onto Jason, onto the bot lane. I don't think it's going to be enough, though, as everybody on No Tomorrow is in pursuit here. So committing too many resources to that transition is going to be Superstars, and they needed that pick. No follow-up is going to be there for Urho. Nobody managed to capture this run either, which is going to lead to a couple of second advantage in favor of Superstars, maybe more than they needed.
There's only suppression pulls left for No Tomorrow, so they're down a lot of the heroic abilities that might have been able to net them a kill for some comeback experience. But it's a little while before Mosh Pit's here. Stray jumps in for a swap, as does Casanova. Phase Prism hits nobody from Superstars, and they'll have to wait for that to come back up again. Sending the rotation up to the top. Mercenary camps are starting to push down the structures of No Tomorrow, so they'll have to deal with them. They want to get a beacon away, but ever so slowly, Superstars is getting closer and closer to another 100 Zerg spawn.
And there's that a little bit when I was talking about the rotation, where Casanova is a great spot to try and look for those kind of plays. Obviously, this may not be the ideal time, but even if you get that split, it's something to be looking at. Urho goes into the harass. Icona is going to be able to get the sweet heal beam. Tyler JK ends up using the Twilight Dream, and the Horrify was burned. Good cleanse from Icona is going to be able to get the peel. And that is just going to be Superstars straight up just outscaling, and it feels like comping at this point. No Tomorrow as Misha. Is she going to be able to
watch out for Arrowhead or Stray? He has Mosh Pit. He's going in. Drops Mosh Pit. Doesn't catch anybody though. But Arrow's on the other side of that. Swap goes down onto ETC, but puts Casanova in a risky position. Just goes down, and that's a second kill, along with a full Zerg push.
Oh man, I've never seen Mosh Pit look more like a stage dive in my life. You know. Just a flop stage dive, just in the middle of nowhere, like we saw last game.
He was like, I'm ready for the blaze,
It was
guys.
a zoning tool, guys. They couldn't move around the chokehold. They baited Casanova in for the swap and the kill. I'll give him that much, but that was, again, a bit of a misplay there. Casanova ended up falling, and now it looks like Superstars set their eyes to the core. Shield's already going to be down. Zerg Rush is pushing in. I don't see much help here for any other answer other than a GG, and Superstars taking the lead.
Superstars up 2-0 now over No Tomorrow. Looking to see